Hello, all of you. Welcome to this session that is GST amendments in a compact way. Right? This is applicable for CA Inter, CMA Inter final students also, because all CS, all Inter final students, because whatever amendments are there, we have already done in the GST Sarthi videos chapter wise. But just because your exam is completed, you have written 3 hours of law paper also in a lighter way. When you see all the amendments put together, you are having a grip on 7 to 8 marks out of 50 marks in which these amendments will be covered, either MCQ or direct theory question. One thing I want to say, I'm not discussing the paper pattern of the CA exam as well as CMA right now, because same I have already discussed in the MTP for CMA students I have solved, and the MTP for CA students for DT as well as GST. Just in 1.5 hours, I have solved that. Their first 10 minutes, I have discussed the weightage and all details. Okay. Now, the purpose of taking this is, so in a way, you say hi, hello to all the chapters which are included. Okay, there was a confusion that point of supply is applicable or not. For CMA students, it is applicable. Okay, right? So the material I have already circulated. Please take a printout. It's just 5 pages, and GST amendments are very small but very interesting also. ठीक है? तो इसको शुरू करते हैं. And there are some amendments actually from the last year also. Just initially, if I say that whatever changes you want to do in return and all, so there's no concept of revised return. But last year a notification came that you can do it by 30th of November. Okay, 30th of November or before due date of filing your annual return, whichever is earlier. So this is a very important date, that this is always a trend. We are in financial year 23-24, but 22-23, some of the amendments definitely they will ask. One more amendment is like residential dwelling. If you are giving for residential purpose, okay, then there is no GST. If you are giving residential dwelling for commercial purpose, GST is applicable on the RCM basis. Now, if you are giving residential dwelling for residential purpose, but to a company for giving on rent to their employees as rent-free accommodation or as a guest house, then GST is applicable and the tax will be paid by company. So very small flowchart is given in the exemption chapter. You can watch that. Just a suggestion is, wherever you watch the GST lectures, like in TDS, TCS, first 40 minutes I've made you write notes, then I've given last 10 minutes a comparison. So those tables, those booster notes, if you have made in the DT and GST practice batch, is going to be very helpful. Rest all the schedules of 3.5 day, how to utilize your time before exam is discussed. And definitely I'm going to take live DT Sarthi marathon, that is for all the 5 heads, and all live classes will be there every day now for 3 days from 10 to 1:30. From my side, I'll give you the best of the gist with question answers and doubt clearing. Okay, right? चलो तो जल्दी से शुरू करते हैं. GST amendments. 1 minute. I'll share the screen. Material, those who have not taken a printout, beta, this is there already in your. Ma'am, I knew this. Ma'am, the Sarthi batch material, is it updated? Yes, please. All these amendments are included there, but her chapter mein hai. So if we do all the amendments together, it's going to be very, very scoring for all of you. Okay, right. So now the basis of the GST. चलो शुरू करते हैं इसको. Basic chapters of the GST में, you know, there are IGST, CGST, SGST, different kinds of GST taxes. In that, added to that is compensation cess. So especially for the CMA students, you can get directly write a short note because theory questions are asked in your paper pattern 7th and 8th question mein. And for CA students, very important amendment is say on the supply value, supply का जो transaction value है ना, say your transaction value is 10,000 and your GST is 18%, so 1800. On this, compensation cess is charged. This is basically to compensate the, because now GST is a destination based tax, and if it is CGST, SGST, every state is getting benefit जहां पे transaction खत्म हो रहा है. So the central government needs to compensate the funds. Earlier everything was cascading effect, tax on tax, excise के ऊपर CST and all. So to compensate that, they said okay, for few years on the demerit products, demerit goods which are not very good for health and all, on that we will put GST compensation cess. Okay, they said like this, and they said after few years we will not collect. But this year's amendment is that GST compensation cess will still be collected. That's what council has decided till March 2026. Now of course silly but very, मतलब MCQs का एक बेस्ट पार्ट है कि नियर बाय आंसर्स आर आल्सो राइट ओनली. हाँ, जो गलत आंसर स्टूडेंट देते हैं ना, दैट इज आल्सो वन ऑफ योर बिट. आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? So March 26th तक they have got the permission to collect the GST compensation cess. But now out of the compensation cess, the central government will not share it with state. State initially when we started GST, you incurred loss, we shared it. Now we are not going to give. So just a briefing. Ma'am, if this is the amendment, why you are revising this? ये link में ही जल्दी revise होगा. This is not an extra time waste. And of course, out of this, you can get MCQ. Anyhow, first and second chapters, beta, they are covered in MCQ only. ठीक है? Are you all following? If you comment in the live class, like, share, subscribe, you will get notification tomorrow when we are coming live. Thank you. GST compensation cess at specified rate has been imposed. Cess is levied on luxury items, demerit goods like pan masala, tobacco, cigarettes, coal, lignite, aerated waters, water, motor car, etc. So cess is computed on the value of the taxable supply along with, ma'am, if cess is there, GST is not there, ऐसा नहीं होगा. GST भी होगा, cess भी होगा. Like we have on income tax, then we have e-cess also, no? Health and education cess, what we call it. हाँ, तो वैसे ही ये भी रहेगा. Taxpayers can use ITC of the cess to set off in the output cess, but not in GST. How GST setting is done, that we have studied in ITC. IGST can be set off in IGST, then CGST and SGST. Ma'am, CGST और SGST में पहले किसमें set off होगा? You can give equally to both. That will be very clear when I solve ITC problems. है ना? चलो. Now, but cess can we adjust cess? Input tax credit में cess लगा के आया है, तो can we adjust in the output GST? Answer is no. Cess can be set off only in cess. For taxpayers registered in the composition scheme, cess is not applicable. For goods which are exported, compensation cess is not applicable. And whatever on inputs, the cess they have paid, beta, that will be refunded. Okay? Is my speed fine? You all are following, right? Chalo. This is going to come in MCQs or जिसका नया नाम है case studies. One second, dear students. Sometimes the screen is getting freezed. Okay, what is this case study? You know, dear students, 10 marks case studies, case studies. Case study is nothing but a problem of capital gain. Say, tomorrow when I teach, I'll really highlight the points which I feel like they are coming in every exam. Stamp duty value 110% तक ignore करना है. Stamp duty on the date of registration, on the date you receive. So these are very minute and important points. अभी वो discuss नहीं करना है, but what I'm saying is a capital gain problem, they give it in the form of case study, and from that they ask you MCQs. Enjoy it like you have done your unseen passage in school days. And there's no harm in keeping a page in your answer sheet, rough work for MCQs. You know, because sometimes the first answer is gross total income. Just an example. The second is deduction. Third is gross total income minus deduction. TI कितना होगा? So the earlier figures will be helpful to you. Trust me, so many case studies we have solved in live offline classes में भी हमने पूरा practice किया है, तो आपको clear होगा वो. समझ में आ रहा है, right? So case study mindset is clear. It's as good as a 10 marks problem. Right. चलो. Let us continue now with the place of supply. Simple thing. Supply includes supply of goods also and services also, except money. Money पे नहीं लगता है and securities. है ना? Yeah, ma'am, this was something basic we studied in supply. Okay. Then out of goods excluded is the definition of actionable claims. Actionable claims is where I have right to receive the money, like my debtors or like insurance claim. Okay. So in actionable claims, they are outside the purview of supply. But there are 3 actionable claims on which already GST is charged: betting, gambling, lottery. Betting. Nowadays, betting is legal. All these IPL matches, Dream 11, so many games are there. So betting, gambling, lottery pay, you are already paying GST, even though it's an actionable claim. Okay, I have a lottery of 1,000 rupees I have taken, and if I win, I may get 1 lakh rupees. Clear to all of you? Added to this is casinos, horse racing, online trading. Online trading, nahi, sorry, online gaming, beta, has got amendment in 4 more chapters. One liner amendment. So if I miss out at the end, just type and send me, ma'am, online gaming. तो ऑनलाइन गेमिंग का वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई क्या होगा, टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई क्या होगा, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई क्या होगा, and who will file the return? Everything I will discuss once together at the end. Right now, chapter 2 is saying casinos, horse racing, online gaming, you also need to pay GST. Online gaming definition I have just given for reference, तो मेरा मन नहीं हुआ delete करने का. पढ़ना है तो पढ़ो, नहीं तो छोड़ दो. Your wish. Now you followed. Actionable claims, you are neither goods nor supply. Your supply service किधर भी included नहीं है. But betting, gambling, lottery, already chargeable to GST. Added in this is casinos, horse racing, online gaming. Online gaming, 28% GST is chargeable. And casinos and all also, suppose when we go, we take 5,000 rupees token. Okay, token, or they call it chips or coins or whatever. Out of that, we may play for 4,000 and return. But when you take 5,000, on this amount, you have to pay GST at 28%. And let me tell you, income tax also, the amendment is on online gaming, 30% tax is to be charged, and it is collected in the form of TDS. Beautiful, clear to all of you. How many chapters are over, beta? Compensation cess is going to be collected till 2016, 2026, 16 में कहाँ पहुँच गए? March. And supply under GST will include now casinos, horse racing, online game. You know, all the goods, all the goods, whenever goods are supplied on advance, there is no GST. But in case of services, if you book a function hall in May now for a wedding in December, do you have to pay GST now? Yes. I'm repeating, on all the supply of goods, if you receive advance, there is no GST. Because GST का तो अपना time of supply है ना, invoice or the movement of goods and all, whichever is earlier, वो देखा है हमने, time of supply, section 12. Now here it is, online gaming, horse races, casinos, in these cases, whenever money is received in advance, on that also GST is going to be charged. Clear to all of you? Thank you. Thank you. AC, all clear. Done. Practical part of the GST will definitely be covered after your exams, beta. Please, I don't want to merge these two things. I don't know you like it or not, but my view is, because अभी एग्जाम्स हैं, एग्जाम से रिलेटेड जो भी DT IDT है, years I have been teaching, it's going fine. Practical part on this same CA Dipti Chheda's channel, I'll invite very good people who will teach you the practical part of the GST in an online way. They'll show you the portal and do all the details, but अभी नहीं. ठीक है, दैट इज अ वेरी ल्यूक्रेटिव वे ऑफ लर्निंग, बट हम डाइवर्ट हो जाते हैं उसमें, अभी तो लर्न करना. चलो, one more one liner answer I can give for this if they ask you this in MCQ again. Supply of food and beverages at cinema hall taxable as restaurant services. अभी इसको 2 मिनट में पढ़ेंगे कैसे. देखो, when you go to a multiplex to watch movie, there are counters which are outsourced, okay, where you get nachos, samosas, cold drink, coffee. अब पूरा मेनू नहीं पढ़ना है. So these are like restaurants. They will charge GST at 5%. But so many times you have offers that during weekdays you can watch this multiplex में 4 movies for 800 rupees along with a popcorn tub, blah blah. Some offer is there. Now this has become a mixed supply. Along with movie ticket only, you are providing the food service. Now, generally, the food service is chargeable at restaurant rate, जैसे 5%. Movie ticket pay 28%, 18% जो है. अब now once this is combined, this will become a mixed supply. And in mixed supply, the main purpose, mixed supply नहीं होगा, sorry. This will become a composite supply, and mixed supplies ki where individually you will not go to a multiplex just to eat samosa. You will go only when you want to watch movie. So this will become a composite supply, and in composite supply, whatever is the movie ka rate of GST, that will be charged on restaurant. Super clear. टीचर की गलती होनी चाहिए कभी कभी, बच्चों को बहुत अच्छे से ज्यादा याद रहता है. And such a beautiful smile if while writing in the class also, if I do some mistake, ma'am this and they will remember. So I also enjoy that. Supply of food and beverages, okay. The cinema may operate this as a restaurant, then restaurant rate, or they may give a contract to third party. ठीक है, no problem. Supply of food or beverages in cinema is taxable as restaurant as long as they are supplied as a part of service. And if the supplied independent, then no problem. तो फिर वो restaurant ही रहेगा. But where sale of cinema ticket and food and beverages are clubbed, and such bundled supply satisfies the rest of the composite supply. By mistake, I told you mixed supply. Mixed supply is those Diwali combos, mixture and cold drink and this dry fruit. We sell the combos. Huh? Here, movie ticket and the food. So no one is going to eat the food in multiplex without watching the movie. You followed or not? So this is not a mixed supply. This is a composite supply. Entire supply GST at the rate applicable to service of cinema will be applicable. Done. Done. बोलो, अब क्लियर है आपको? So 3 amendments we have done until now. Just my whole material is कितना पेज है? मेरे ख्याल से 5 पेज होगा बस. उसमें पूरा आ जाएगा आपका. फिर से एक बार देखो. Compensation cess is going to be levied till March 26. Next, online gaming, casinos, horse races are chargeable to GST even on advance basis. Full amount 28%. Very well, it is a part of the supply. हाँ, चलो. Cinemas में if the restaurant service is separate 5%, but if it is given in combo ticket की booking में they are offering you the cold drink and the popcorn, then it is going to be chargeable as composite supply. This is such a silly वाला amendment, but I don't know, I am feeling कि ये because latest circular से add किया है ना, so this can come write a short note. अच्छा, dear students, whether it is CA exam or CMA, one trend I want to discuss. When I was a student, 44 ADAE was added. 1997, हमारे ज़माने में. Write a short note, straight question. Last few years back, when they added e-invoicing, write a short note on e-invoicing. Then they added dynamic QR code on the invoice for making payment. Write a short note. Like that, this year also 2-3 amendments are there. जिसके ऊपर ना आपको सीधा short note लिखने आएगा. One of them is this. Holding and subsidiary company, are they giving service? Are they covered under GST? Answer is no, no. इसको income tax में भी, capital gain में भी, section 46 also they are exempt. मैम नहीं समझ में आया तो पढ़ते हैं बेटा. Classification on taxability of shares held in subsidiary company by holding company. The issue which arose for consideration is whether the holding of the shares in a subsidiary company by the holding company will be treated as supply of service, whether the same will attract GST. So holding companies having the shares of the subsidiary company, will that be treated as supply of service and GST? Then it is clarified by way of circular. Of circular number याद नहीं रखना है. Securities are considered neither as goods nor services. I told you on page 1 only. Goods does not include money and securities. So securities are not covered under GST. Okay, therefore activity of holding shares of subsidiary by holding company cannot be treated as supply of service. Clear to all of you? This is going to be like super scoring in MCQs. ये पूरे amendments जो मैं discuss कर रही हूँ सिर्फ 2 theory question है. I'll tell you. One is GSTR1 or एक e-commerce operator. बाकी तो सब 1-1 line है. So many of you are live. Can I ask you to like the video so that it is, more boosted by YouTube, and this conceptual to the point knowledge goes to more students. This material which I am using, you can take it from Telegram group or WhatsApp challengers group. Of course, final students can also use it for repeated revision. ठीक है बेटा? चलो और कमेंट करो ना, AC all clear है या नहीं आप सबको अभी तक? चलो चार्ज ऑफ जीएसटी में आ जाओ. ओके, this is also a very simple amendment. In regular class I have made one diagram, बट वही एक एक डायग्राम ढूंढने गए तो टाइम हो जाएगा, यहीं पे कर देते हैं. सी this also, can I explain in my way? Listen, director is giving service to the company. He is a full-time director. Employer employee relationship, no GST. It is exempt in schedule 3. सेक्शन 7 के बाद हमने शेड्यूल 1, 2, 3 पढ़े थे. शेड्यूल 1 वाज डीम्ड सप्लाई, शेड्यूल 2 वाज इज दिस अ सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स, सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस क्या है, और शेड्यूल 3 वाज नेगेटिव लिस्ट. So negative list says employer employee services are outside the purview of GST. I am a full-time director working in the same company, employer employee relationship, no GST, and in income tax my TDS will be deducted under section 192. I'm combining the GST and income tax. Chalo, now I'm a freelancing director in 5-6 companies. Please give a feedback whether the way I'm saying like this, इधर देख के सुनो समझ में आ रहा है, or you want a quick diagram which is more workable for you. I never dominate the class कि ऐसे ही पढ़ो, जहाँ dominate करना है बोल दिया. Income tax exam के बाद dare you discuss the paper or expect कि Dipti ma'am will go live and say, yeah, today's tax paper was this. No. That's one thing which we need to avoid. हाँ, तो हम क्या बात कर रहे थे? I am a part-time director in companies. I am getting remuneration from the company. In that case, company is going to pay the GST on RCM basis, section 9, subsection 4. RCM में 9(4) में एक बड़ा सा लिस्ट था, reverse charge mechanism. Director, part-time director is giving service to company. Company will pay the tax on RCM basis. Director is the supplier, company is the recipient. Recipient will pay the tax. And whenever the company has to pay RCM wala tax, they cannot set off in the input tax credit. Ma'am, why you are saying this at least 10 times? Because this is a silly mistake in the compulsory ITC problem, which comes for 7 marks for CA students and for 10 marks for CMA students. ITC, I have 50,000, but in RCM, even if I have to pay 10,000 tax now, I have to pay it in the electronic cash ledger. I cannot set off. बात clear है? Full-time director working in company, employer-employee relationship, no GST, TDS under 192. Part-time director giving service to many company, GST is applicable. Company will pay the GST on RCM basis. और मैंने आपको TDS will be deducted under 194J. Professional services. Ma'am, professional services up to 30,000. There's a limit. No TDS will be there. That 30,000 limit is not applicable for director's service. Director giving service of 5,000 rupees also to a company, TDS is applicable 194J and GST is applicable payable by company. ज्यादा टफ है ये वाला तरीका तो भी कमेंट करो, मैं अभी 2 मिनट में डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर दूं. Or this is okay, then still coming. Now, why we are discussing this as an amendment is, other than this, if a director is giving some service to the company, say director is having an extra bungalow and he has given it on rent to company as a guest house for their employees to stay. Director is having a car and he has given. So any other service other than directorship, that service given by the director to the company may be liable to GST but not on RCM basis. Clear to all of you? That's the beautiful small amendment. चलो इसको पढ़ते हैं. Yes. Tax on services supplied by director of company in his personal capacity, such as renting of immovable property, not payable under RCM. Only those services supplied by director which are supplied by him as in capacity of the director shall be treated in RCM. But suppose director in his personal capacity is giving on rent, मैं क्यों GST लगाऊं, आप लगाओ, आप कंपनी हो. No, RCM is applicable only in case of the directorship services. ठीक है? Right. Now with effect from 20th of October 23, that's the GST council meeting date. याद रहता है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो छोड़ दो. Generally RCM basis will cover all except services supplied by central government, state government, union territory to a business entity, excluding renting of immovable property. When central government, state government, union territory are renting immovable property, it will be definitely chargeable to tax on forward charge mechanism. ये ना 5A वाला सर्विस है, 5 वाला है RCM के सेक्शन में, सेक्शन 9(3) में. I am repeating, central government, CG I call it, state government and union territory, local authority are giving service to business entity renting of immovable property, they will charge the GST on forward charge mechanism. Okay, right. And services below, like services by Department of Post. Added in this is services by Ministry of Railways. Clear? Postal department, other than basic वो postcard, inland letter, उसको छोड़ के, if Department of Post is giving, it is taxable under forward charge. Railways add हुआ है कि railways are providing services, it is taxable under forward charge. Services in relation to aircraft vessel inside or outside port, it is chargeable to forward charge mechanism. Transport of goods or passengers, forward charge mechanism. For example, when you book a 2-tier AC train ticket, are you paying GST? Yeah. So they are directly collecting, the railways. Followed all of you or not? So these services are directly covered under GST. Of course, so many of you are asking that ये 2-3 बार पहले भी पूछा है क्वेश्चन कि मैम आई एम गिविंग फाइनल एग्जाम अलोंग विद जॉब CMA फाइनल, देन फॉर बेस लेवल प्रिपरेशन, बिकॉज थोड़ा कभी कभी बेस से हम हट जाते हैं ना इन द जॉब और इन द इंटर्नशिप, यू कैन यूज इवन एट फाइनल एग्जाम लेवल, यू कैन यूज दिस मैराथन वीडियोस बेटा. ठीक है, ये समझ में आया आपको? All the services generally are covered under RCM basis when they are provided by central government, except these services. renting of immovable property, department of post, aircraft, passenger. These are always taxable. You can write here. Always taxable under forward charge mechanism. Ma'am, why you have revised this? Added is only Ministry of Railways. Okay, this is an amendment. I feel they can ask you to write a short note. I said no, दो amendment है, एक ये और एक next page पे आएगा. Following categories of services supplied through e-commerce operator, tax is payable by e-commerce operator. We all know that he is the supplier. For example, my cab driver. E-commerce operator is an online portal like Amazon for supply of goods, Urban Clap and all for supply of services. So he is an electrician. I am the customer. Followed. So between supplier and customer, who is making a bridge? E-commerce operator. So e-commerce operator should be compulsorily registered under section 24 and they will have to pay the tax on RCM basis. Actually, who should pay the tax? Supplier. The cab wala, the electrician, the plumber, the saloon wala who is giving service on Urban Clap. Yeah, the restaurant. Say I am calling for 2 plates of idli from Minerva. So Minerva should charge. But if I am calling it through Swiggy, Zomato, it is their duty to pay the GST on RCM basis. So earlier only there was one service. Now all these services are covered under e-commerce operator, wherein e-commerce operator will pay the GST. ओके चलो साथ में करते हैं कौन कौन है इनसे services by way of transportation of passengers by radio taxis which work with GPRS, motor cab, maxi cab, motorcycle, omnibus इसमें भी थोड़ा सा amendment है or any other motor vehicle. So can we write the example as Ola? Please preferably take a printout if you're watching it as recording ताकि आप लिख सको लिखने से it gets synced in your mind. Next, services by way of providing accommodation in hotels, guest house, clubs, campsite or other commercial. These are like OYO. OYO के hotels और होते हैं ना और भी होते हैं ना ट्रिवागा और कितने सारे. Services by way of housekeeping such as plumbing, carpenting, except the person supplying such services is liable for registration. If supplier is only liable for registration, तो फिर e-commerce को RCM क्यों पे करना है? But otherwise, जैसे Urban Clap. Rahul is a small saloon owner who gives services through Urban Clap. So Urban Clap will collect the GST from the customer and deposit under section 95. Supply of restaurant services other than services supplied located at the specified premises. So supply of restaurant that is Swiggy, Zomato, ये सब e-commerce operator में tax pay करेंगे except supplied services supplied by restaurant located at specified premises. Specified premises are those restaurant where lodging boarding is there and the room rent per month is room rent per day is exceeding 7,500. Are you all with me? If attached restaurant to ITC is the ITC ka restaurant and their Dakshinayan is there. So like that it is there. And there if the room fare is more than 7,500 and they are not covered. Other than this, all the restaurants giving their service through e-commerce operator will pay tax under RCM. Clear to all of you? I know this is a bonus session. Some of you like, ma'am, we were very sure we will start with the revision of the slab rates. Oh my God, DT का revision lectures अलग बनाए बार बार repetition के. DT का practice batch अलग है, GST का practice batch है. अब फिर से वही पढ़ाऊं, कल पढ़ेंगे. Yes. Once again, what are the category of the services? As I said, this is the first theory question as per my guesswork. 1 second, dear students, the screen is getting freezed. Yeah. अब दिख रहा है स्क्रीन देखो एक बार पढ़ लो Any amendment not clear, just let me know. Chalo, then this one we will revise once. Who are the e-commerce operator who are going to pay the tax on behalf of the supplier on RCM basis? Supplier is giving to e-commerce and e-commerce is providing service to the customer. So services by way of transport of passengers, accommodation in hotel, housekeeping, plumbing and all the services, restaurant owners. Okay. Here, yeah, one more amendment is added in this list from this year is omnibus. Now, what is omnibus? Omnibus means a motor vehicle to carry more than 6 passengers. Okay. So if omnibus is supplied by a company, then no RCM is applicable. Company will pay forward charge. Omnibus is supplied by a company to e-commerce operator, so RCM is not applicable. But if this big bus is supplied other than company, Chota Mota travel agency is supplying omnibus through the e-commerce operator, right? Then the tax is payable by the e-commerce operator on RCM basis. Ma'am, can we expect an MCQ on this? Yes, beta. Okay, place of supply, newly added chapter. How many of you are clear? This was the only chapter where I can literally say I can teach you place of supply for 6 classes, 2 hours each. I can teach place of supply in 2 hours. मैंने 2 hours में ही पढ़ा है क्योंकि ज्यादा आप डाइव करोगे ना और कंफ्यूज हो जाओ. But of course, place of supply is there for the CMA students also now. Place of supply of the goods purchased over the counter in one state and transported to another state by the buyer. Okay, this I can explain with an example. Simple sa example. Over the counter purchase. We are from Hyderabad, Telangana. We go and visit Taj Mahal and there we buy small chotu souvenirs of Taj Mahal. Okay, so this is over the counter purchase. If I'm going and buying it and there I'm placing the order, I'm giving the full payment, they are making bill in my name. I say I'm a registered person in GST. Make the bill, I'll give you my GST and number, name, address, Hyderabad ka, and from Agra you send me the goods to Hyderabad. Now this is over the counter purchase, but the place of supply will be Hyderabad. Even though I have gone Agra to make a choice which souvenir I want, keychains क्या चाहिए, वो सब मैंने choice किया. But then I have given the address of the recipient is in another state. The place of supply will be Hyderabad. It will be interstate. GST, IGST levy. Place of supply is what actually? This name of the chapter should go on in your ears 5 more times other than ITC तो everyone knows 16, 17, 18 मैम 3 sections ITC is over. तो ये क्या है फिर? हाँ, place of supply is okay. Value of supplies, on what value GST should be charged, extra expenditure ये वो सब जो हमने देखा है section 15 में add कर दो. Time of supply is when I should charge. When I should, because there are so many transactions. So किस दिन I should charge the GST, because that day the rate may change. Exemptions. Place of supply is where the transaction ended. If I'm twisting now, I went to Agra, purchased 20 souvenirs. I said, no, give it to me here only. Now I'm not giving my address GSTN of Hyderabad. I'm buying there itself, over the counter. तो फिर क्या होगा? The place of supply will be the supplier's place. Because I didn't mention my address, and जो ऐसे आके लेके जाते हैं ना, those who are not even bothered to take the bill. Please watch it once again, maybe 1.5 speed. आज रात को देख के सोना वापस से. कुछ भी doubt है तो tomorrow we are together in the morning. I'm going to discuss all the 5 heads with important question answers. तब आप पूछ सकते हैं. चलो. Place of supply of goods purchased over the counter in one state and transported to another state by buyer. Place of supply in case of over the counter sales to unregistered person is as follows. where address of the unregistered person is recorded in advice. My Hyderabad address, Agra. Place of supply is the location as per address of the unregistered person. Even though I am a customer, जो भी मेरा address है, where address is not recorded, I am coming and buying from your shop. I don't want bill also, बाबा मेरे को नहीं चाहिए वो सब. चलो ठीक है. Then place of supply is the location of the supply. Here IGST will be charged. Here CGST and SGST will be charged. That's what is place of supply. Next. Most of the time we feel अरे मैम exemptions last में करेंगे. आज क्या करें? आज भी last में करें. नहीं पढ़ाना अभी exemptions. We'll go to the next amendment. Value of supply. Value of supply बोलते से मैम section 15. The transaction value plus the late fees plus NGO वाला subsidy minus discount which is pre-decided. हो गया. 5 marks value of supply. The more you practice problem for value of supply, the more it will be clear to all of you. Now in this, what they have said is that whatever money, अच्छा online gaming taxable है, supply में covered है, actionable claims में, goods में. Now whatever money you pay for online gaming, on that GST will be charged. As I said, you are taking tokens of 5,000 you played, enjoyed, and 1,000 you return back. Still GST is paid. It was earlier issued to exempt all the registered person from requirement of payment of the tax on advance in case of supply of goods. Supply of goods advance पे GST नहीं लगता, only on payment basis बाद में. But with effect from 1st October, there has been amendment which says that supply under GST on online gaming, casinos, horse races, so that in this case, the tax can be paid at the time of receipt of payment. 110% already I have given in bold for MCQs. In case of online gaming, GST is payable on final payment, on credit, on receipt, on credit and receipt, whichever is earlier. ऐसे none of above, they'll give you the 4 bits. आपको क्या करना है at the time of receipt of the payment. टोकन अमाउंट, चिप्स, कॉइन्स, जो भी है पूरा. ठीक है. चलो registration, there's a very small amendment. Nowadays registrations are issued without physical verification, but few cases physical verification is necessary 5 days before registration, and few cases after registration within 30 days you have to do the physical verification. This is not amendment, this is the data I am giving. From this year, they said that in physical verification, okay, the presence of the applicant in physical premises is done away with. You can't say we went for physical verification, GST में जिसका नाम था registration में owner तो था ही नहीं, छोड़ो हम क्या करें. No. So this has been done away with. Okay. The registration shall be granted within 30 days of submission of application after physical verification, in the presence of the said person in the manner provided under Rule 25. This is now not required. So 2 times I have repeated, but the gist is physical presence of the application is done away with. It's not required. All right. Then in registration, see nowadays registration is not granted if prior to like applying for registration only you have to give your 15-digit bank account detail. 15-digit बैंक अकाउंट नंबर, आपका IFSC कोड, MICR सब देना पड़ेगा. If you don't give, you will not get the registration. And even if you get the registration and they say, okay, in this much time you give your bank details, if you don't give your GSTR 1 का credit और 3B सब block हो जाएगा automatically. Automatically your registration will be suspended. When you give it back, it will again be given to all right. Bolo. Within 30 days of grant of registration or before filing of the GSTR 1. What is GSTR 1? Outward supply. If I don't file outward supply, you will not claim ITC. Huh? Whichever is earlier, you have to give the bank details. I want to repeat, within 30 days of the grant of registration or before filing of the GSTR1, whichever is earlier, bank details you have to give. Earlier, this time limit was 45 days. Now it has become how much? 30 days. System-based suspension of registration in case of failure to furnish the valid bank account. And automatic revocation. Within 30 days from the grant of registration, if you don't submit your bank account details, your registration will be freezed, suspended. Then it will again be revoked back as soon as you submit. तो ये सब automatic होता है. PO, who is PO beta? Proper officer. Cancels. See, registration can be cancelled by CO moto. When you go below the limit of 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs, or some activities you are doing which are not allowed in GST and all that. Sometimes the proper officer cancels your registration. If you're not filing your return, if you're not making payment, ऐसे 4-5 clauses हैं where PO, proper officer, can cancel your registration. Time limit for application for revocation is increased to 90 days. ये पहले 30 days था. बैंक का डिटेल 45 से 30 हो गया. Proper officer, if he has suspended your registration, he has cancelled your registration, you can revoke, apply for the revocation. Sir, please don't cancel. If this is not proper, I'll make it proper. I'll file my return. Promise I'll pay 18% interest in section 50. Huh? So you have got a time limit for revocation of cancellation of registration, increase to 90 days and extension of 180 days, 90 plus 90 days. Where else do you study this 90 days plus 90 days? कुछ चीज है ना GST में ऐसे लिंक अप हो जानी चाहिए. चलें साथ में. What did I say? If the proper officer is cancelling your registration, the registered person, until now his registration is cancelled, he can apply for revocation of the cancellation. So please don't cancel my registration. This period is increased to 90 days from 30 days plus extendable to 90 days. This same provision is there in casual CTP, casual taxable person ka registration, and NRTP. NRTP can get registration maximum according to days agreed or 90 days, whichever is lower. Okay. And this 90 days registration can be extended to further 90 days. Anyone is having any doubt? Pucho. Comment below, please, below the video. Lot of efforts. My family was really surprised. I'm not boosting myself, but just saying that they were really surprised. You will take a class on Sunday. You never take classes on Sunday. But I'm valuing that. ठीक है, आज एग्जाम दे के आए हैं. ये सब ऐसे आराम से सुनो, जितना समझ में आ रहा है. इसमें करने का आपको कुछ नहीं है. Because you've already written 3 hours of paper plus reading time. रीडिंग टाइम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हाँ, चलो. तो ये अगर आपका हो गया है तो मैं संडे के दिन बैठ के शाम में आपके लिए वीडियो बना रही हूँ. तो जरूर से कमेंट करो दैट इज इट हेल्पफुल और नॉट. एनी कंफ्यूजन इज देयर, स्टिल कमेंट. Join the Telegram. There you can click the picture and send. And lot of students and me myself both are helping each other to clear your doubts. But no time pass. Moment any student is doing time pass, my team or me, कोई भी उनको delete कर देंगे. चलो. Rule 81 has been amended to exclude a person supplying from online gaming from a place outside India. See, you are doing online gaming supply in India, you have to mandatorily get registered because आपको तो GST लगाना पड़ेगा 28% से. अरे but he is providing online gaming from place outside India. Okay, he's not having PAN. From declaring PAN and address in India for registration purpose, but registration is mandated. See, आपके syllabus में actually OIDR नहीं है, online data retrieval services वो सब नहीं है, but just listen carefully. Like non-resident taxable person should get registration in India, same way online gaming services provided from outside India, in India, they are compulsorily to be registered without PAN, obviously because they are not having PAN. ठीक है, हाँ, ये सेकेंड थियोरी क्वेश्चन हो गया, ये वाला कॉम्पोजिट सप्लाई के लिए भी है. अब ये देखो क्या है. इसको ना एक सिंपल वे में समझ लेते हैं. लिसन ऑल ऑफ यू. E-commerce operator are liable to be registered because they have to pay the tax under RCM basis 95. The cab wala, the Ola, urban club, Swiggy, restaurant, सब आ गया. E-commerce, you have to get yourself registered. Section 24, compulsory registration. Sometimes e-commerce operator is not liable to pay the tax on RCM. Still, are you liable to deduct TCS? TCS 51, 52 में आ गए, compulsory register. Now comes supplier. Until now, supplier, you want to give service through e-commerce operator. You want to sell your product and service, get registered. अरे but I am a छोटा मोटा supplier. I am supplying handicraft, earrings. We make and we supply on the e-commerce portal. आजकल e-commerce portal पे you get these small items also. Some plastic items, some cleaning stuff, God knows what all you get online. Ads are coming in Insta and all other channels. है ना? So, supplier, you want to sell your product on e-commerce operator, get registered. Arey, but my turnover is only 5 lakhs. I just make handmade diaries with my hand and I sell it on the portal. From this year, they said, okay, if you are supplying goods, not services, if you are supplying goods on the portal, you are exempted. Because anyhow, e-commerce operator will pay the tax under RCM basis. But condition is supplier, listen, you can't do interstate. Interstate supply, if done, you have to mandatorily take registration. E-commerce operator. You should be registered only in one state with an enrollment number. Registration to karana padega. Take the enrollment number, give your PAN details, forget it. You don't have to go for the GST compliances. Yeah, live chat is also on. Please comment below, all clear, not clear, जो भी है आपका detail बोलो. Yes. Tomorrow morning, please share this with other. We are doing with first DT, 2 days, and then GST. Some topics of GST which I have already done in Gst way in the GST Sarthi marathon batches में. That I will ask you to read एक टॉपिक कल से. हाँ, तो अब ये देख लो, पढ़ लो. ये थियोरी क्वेश्चन है. सेकंड थियोरी क्वेश्चन. Unregistered person with aggregate turnover up to threshold limited permitted to supply goods through an e-commerce operator. You are unregistered because you have not crossed threshold limit of 20 lakhs. Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura 10 lakhs. Other states 40 lakhs. Huh? So you can be unregistered, still supply your goods through e-commerce operator. It was decided to provide an exemption up to threshold limit to suppliers supplying goods online through e-commerce operator, provided they are making only intrastate supply. Since interstate e-commerce तो आपको register करना ही पड़ेगा. Provided they are fulfilling, provided that person making supplies of goods through e-commerce operator which is required to collect TCS and having aggregate turnover and in current not exceeding threshold limit are exempted from registration. I am the supplier. You deduct TCS, TCS. आप e-commerce operator जो करना है करो. You तो have to get. I am a supplier in e-commerce operator. छोटा वाला. If I don't cross the threshold limit, I can register with a enrollment number and with PAN. But promise you will not do interstate. ये देखो. Subject to conditions. Theory question. 5 marks. Straight questions they have been asking. Write a short note on e-way bill, e-invoice, QR code. Write a short note on suppliers, unregistered who can supply through e-commerce portal. Such person shall not make any interstate supply. Such person shall not make supply of goods through e-commerce operator in more than one state. Okay. Such person shall not be required to have a PAN issued under Income Tax Act. Sorry, they will not name. They need to have PAN. Such person shall, before making any supply of goods, declare on common portal their PAN, their address, their state, subject to which they will get validation. Such person have granted an enrollment number, MCQ. Unregistered supplier on e-commerce operator will get GST registration, PAN और enrollment number. MCQ का आंसर है enrollment number on the common portal on successful validation. Such person shall not be granted more than one enrollment number in a state. No supply of goods shall be made by such person through e-commerce operator unless such person have been granted enrollment number. वही बात. And where such person are subsequently granted registration, the enrollment number shall cease to be valid. Okay, now you have crossed, you are doing too good in e-commerce operator and your product are selling 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 60 lakhs. Then go for routine registration, enrollment number will automatically be cancelled. Because this is just छोटा छोटा एक बार करें हम या what did they say is supplier who is unregistered can supply through e-commerce operator provided they have not crossed the threshold limit, they are not doing interstate supply, they are having the PAN details, they have taken the enrollment number and they are doing this e-commerce wala supply only from one state. You know, it's responsibility of e-commerce operator to monitor that दो state में तो ये register नहीं हो गया ना बेटा. Tax invoice, next topic, credit note, debit note. इसके तो amendments like e-invoicing limit is reduced from 10 crore to 5 crore. If your turnover crosses 5 crores in the preceding previous year, you have to do e-invoicing on the portal. Applicability of e-invoicing to government department registered solely for the purpose of TDS. Superb. Huh? So those government department who are going to deduct TDS, yes, they have to issue e-invoicing. Generally, if the government is a supplier, then e-invoicing is not required. But if the government is a recipient, I am supplier, I am supplying stationery in bulk to government. Government is making me payment and deducting TDS under section 51. This is TDS in GST. They have to pay me 1 lakh rupees and 18,000 GST. But they deduct TDS and pay to government. Then they'll pay me less. They'll give me certificate. Same procedure. Here it is by 10th of next month. There it was 7th. Income tax. Shall I say this again? Government department giving supply to registered, unregistered people. They don't have to go for e-invoicing. But I am giving supply to government. Government is deducting TDS, government is liable to issue the e-invoice. If government is supplier, then e-invoicing is not required. But if the government is recipient under TDS, e-invoicing, okay, is mandated. Now, this is like again a very small amendment in the tax invoice. इसी में ही आगे. You all know what is tax invoice? GSTN number is written and the person who is receiving this tax invoice can take input tax credit and that chain goes on. So if the recipient is registered, he has to give his name, address and GSTN number or unique identification number if GSTN is not there in invoice. If the recipient is unregistered and value of supply is 50,000 and more, तो मैम बट इज अनरजिस्टर्ड, उसके पास GSTN नंबर नहीं है, नो प्रॉब्लम, गिव नेम, एड्रेस एंड द एड्रेस ऑफ द डिलीवरी. आई एम रिपीटिंग, if the recipient is registered, when I prepare the tax invoice, I need your name, address, GSTN number so that I can make a proper tax invoice and you will get auto credit in your GSTR 2B. If you are unregistered and if the bill value is above 50,000, still you have to give your name, address, state ka code and all. GSTN number is not there. I know because you are unregistered. Now, if you are unregistered, if the invoice is less than 50,000, your wish, unregistered person may give detail, he may not give detail. Again, a very क्या बोलते हैं ऐसा टेक्निकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव टाइप का पॉइंट है, कुछ समझाने का नहीं है इसमें. Where any taxable service is supplied by or through e-commerce operator or by online to a recipient who is unregistered, irrespective of the value of supply, a tax invoice is issued by a registered person shall contain the name, address and receipt along with PIN code, and state name and state address shall be deemed to be the address on the record of the recipient. It helps to determine the place of supply. E-commerce में क्या होता है ना, layman, I'm a housewife but I'm calling for my household core items from Amazon. So still, do I need to give my proper name, address, state code even if I'm unregistered? Yes, because that will help to decide the place of supply. E-commerce operator. ठीक है, चलो. Now nearby to end we have come. I hope my speed is fine. कहीं ऐसा लगा कि बाउंसर गया तो आप पूछो. Payment of taxes. अब ये थोड़ा, actually this is last year's amendment, but I feel it's very important that I've given here. See, I'll explain with an example. Suppose your opening ITC is 3 lakh. Current year का ITC 4 lakh. 7 lakh हो गया. In this 50,000 ITC you wrongly availed. 7 लाख में. समझ में आ गया? ओपनिंग आईटीसी 3 लाख, करंट ईयर का आईटीसी कितना है बेटा? 4 लाख, टोटल आईटीसी है 7 लाख, बट योर आउटपुट टैक्स इज ओनली 6 लाख. तो ठीक है, जीएसटी कुछ पेएबल नहीं है, तो 1 लाख आईटीसी इज लाइंग. In that 1 lakh ITC is lying. Shall I do it in the notebook only, please? क्योंकि हमने अभी वेटेज और ये अभी डिस्कस किया, ये जरूरी है. ये देखो, अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है. 1 minute and 2 minutes. I know I'm और कोई टॉपिक में हम आउट ऑफ द ट्रैक नहीं गए, बट इसमें जरूरी है इसको करना. It's very nice concept. Opening ITC, input tax credit for the current year, total output tax paid. So opening I said 3 lakh, ये करंट ईयर का था 4 लाख, टोटल है 7 लाख, आउटपुट टैक्स है 6 लाख. तो अभी भी आईटीसी 1 लाख इज कैरीड फॉरवर्ड. इन दैट 50,000 इज wrongly availed. Wrongly availed है, but we have not yet utilized. Next year, what is my opening ITC? 1 lakh. Again, what is my current year's ITC? 4 lakh. Total है 5 lakh. अभी तो 3 lakh ही टैक्स पे करना है, आउटपुट टैक्स. So ITC 2 lakh carry forward. Please take a pause and write this example, but right now you just listen. They may ask you this in ITC or somewhere. This was say April month. ऐसे ही मैं डेट ले रही हूँ रैंडम. अब जून की बात करते. ओपनिंग है 2 lakhs, फिर करंट ईयर का आ रहा है 4 lakh. जस्ट ऐसे ही रैंडम आई एम टेकिंग 6 lakhs. Now your output tax is 5,80,000. You have to pay. Now how much is the ITC carry forward beta? 20,000. 6 lakhs है आपका टोटल, आउटपुट टैक्स है 5,80,000. 20,000. Wrongly availed ITC was there in the April, but you availed it wrongly. It was parked, carried forward or parked. May it was parked 2 lakh, didn't use. But here in 6 lakhs, when you have paid 580 and ITC carried forward is only 20,000, you availed wrongly credit. Wrongly availed ITC used कितना? 50,000 था, उसमें से 20 अभी भी पड़ा है, 30,000. अगस्त में, अगस्त भी छोड़ दो और 2 महीने छोड़ दो. You can rectify any time before 30th November or due date of filing the return. So September we will do the correction. Correction of ITC wrongly availed. Are you all with me? Frankly, I could have made it lucrative class की पूरे amendments हो गए और ये एक छोड़ दिया तो भी नहीं पता चलेगा, but honesty इसमें तो नहीं पूछ सकते हैं. When did you wrongly avail ITC? In April. But did you use it? No. May. Did you use it? No. June. Did you use it? Yes. So wrongly availed ITC पे interest will be charged under section 50 at the rate of 18% from June to September, not from April and. समझ में आ गया हम सबको? Genuinely it's right. क्या करोगे आप? One second, dear students, not used to taking the classes on Sunday. So some calls are come. I'll message them. Okay. Conceptually, if you learn ना कुछ लिंक करके आप कभी नहीं भूलोगे बेटा. Done. So from the time when ITC is the example clear to all of you? चलो. So now देखो अब कैसे solve करेंगे इसको. Clarification of charging of interest in case of wrongly availed IGST. When balance of ITC under the head taken together falls below the wrongly availed was 50,000. उसके नीचे चला गया 20,000. Then it will be the amount to be utilized of such wrongly availed IGST, and the extent of utilization will be to the extent to which total balance under the heads taken together falls below such amount and will attract interest. Okay, right. In this compensation cess नहीं होगा क्योंकि वो उसी में set off होता है. No credit and interest on that. Last one now, returns. Person supplying online gaming from outside India should also file GSTR 5A return. Even GSTR 8 आ गया है TDS TCS के लिए. आपका GSTR का टेबल है ना, 2 returns have been added. Online gaming GSTR 5A like OIDAR and GSTR 8 by TDS TCS. Now, third theory question. Registered person cannot be allowed to furnish details of outward supply. Outward supply में GSTR 1, and if I am going for that quarterly return and monthly payment, then IFF is invoice furnishing facility. In that also I cannot upload my output tax. If I don't upload output tax, you will not get the input tax credit. If you don't get input tax credit, you will not be able to file your GSTR return. So, you will be backing me again, Dipti ma'am, please file. So, I will not be allowed to file GSTR of May unless earlier pending things are clear. ये बहुत beautiful है. पहले का तो clear करो मैम, पहले का बाद में करूंगा, अभी का तो ले लो, ऐसे नहीं होता. If he is not furnished, if a person is not allowed to file GSTR 1, if he has not furnished GSTR 1 for the preceding month, he has not furnished GSTR 3B for the preceding month. If the person opting QRPKM scheme has not furnished GSTR 1 or 3B for the preceding tax period, yeah, So if he is opting, he is not allowed to furnish IFF और वो कुछ भी नहीं. Person to whom intimation has been issued under 88C. See rule 88B वो 1% तो कैश में देना पड़ेगा. 88C, 88D कोई रूल नहीं पढ़ो, ये वाले रूल पढ़ लो 3. I will do it. I will do it when I take input tax credit class with problems. So the first one is 88B. That 1% of the tax liability you have to pay in cash if your payment exceeds 50 lakhs. वो हम कल करेंगे. अभी ये देखो. 80C says there should not be any difference between your GSTR 1 and 3. GSTR 1 जो output है that should be input, no? Unless he has deposited the amount or furnished a reply. See, these are not any people giving you notice. You will get a auto notice in some DSC form number not required that your GSTR 3B mein what you have shown your output input tax and your GSTR output tax in GSTR 3B and output tax what you yourself have filed in GSTR 1 is not tallying. There's a difference. So either on difference you pay the tax or give a valid reason. Now, a registered person to whom an intimation has been issued on the common portal for GSTR 3B and GSTR 2B, difference in tax same. 88D को मैं bold करना भूल गई हूँ, but 88D is that GSTR 3B में input tax I'm showing 10,000, but 2B which is auto dropped is only 8,000. Might be that supplier has not paid properly or whatever. So if there's a difference, correct it. See, I'm telling you again, it's a very important theory question in return. You have not furnished GSTR 1, furnish. You have not furnished GSTR 3B, kar lo. You are going for quarterly return and monthly payment, then file these 2 returns on time. Quarterly, to quarterly say. Next. 88C notice you got that my GSTR 1 and my GSTR 3B output tax is not tallying. 88D notice my GSTR 3B and GSTR 2B input tax is not tallying, or if I have not furnished the bank details. Ma'am, we have to furnish the bank details within 30 days of registration. Nahi kiya. So then registration or filing of the first return. Uske pehle to you have to give. Otherwise, you are not allowed to furnish your output. Simple theory question to score marks. Returns chapter se theory questions are coming. Registration and return. Are you all with me? And very clear also. ठीक है? Yeah. Last one now we'll go for chapter 4 which was earlier. अब 5 हो गया है. जिसका नाम है exemptions. बहुत छोटे छोटे exemptions. Yeah, satellite launch services earlier they were exempt by ISRO and Auxil. Now anyone giving satellite launch related services exempt. Services provided by the central government, they are all exempt except they say services provided by central government which are taxable on FCM. Ma'am ये already किया तो फिर से कर रहे हैं because these are the services which are chargeable on forward charge. Services by Department of Post, they have added Ministry of Indian Railways, aircraft vessel, transport of goods. These are taxable under forward charge. Following services are exempted from this year 23-24. Services provided by government by way of water supply, public health, sanitation, solid waste management, slum improvement. If these kind of services you are providing to the government, then GST is not chargeable as these are basic services. So here we complete this 5 pages material in 5 pages also. Obviously the first page I have given my class details. So only 4 pages of GST, but very in-depth, very super scoring. Compensation says 2026 तक लगाना. जल्दी से एक बार. Supply may now included is casino, horse racing, online gaming on which GST is chargeable on payment basis also, and they have to file their return also. Even if online gaming is provided from outside India. ठीक है? They can go for registration without the Registration number, just they will take an enrollment number और वो सब चलेगा. चलो. Food and beverages which are supplied in cinema separate है तो restaurant का rate, combine है तो cinema का rate composite supply में आएगा. Holding subsidiary out of the supply, no GST. Director giving services to company is covered under RCM, but other than this, if director is giving any service, exempt. Central government giving services, we are supplying services to central government, वो तो है ही. Central government giving services, these four are taxable on forward charge. Entered into this is Ministry of Railway along with Post. Post के basic services are exempt, envelope and postcard बाकी taxable. E-commerce operator who are liable to pay tax under section 95 on RCM basis, उसमें transport के साथ add हो गया, accommodation of hotels, food, restaurant services, housekeeping. हाँ, omnibus given by company to e-commerce, company will pay tax under FCM. Omnibus given by other than company to e-commerce, e-commerce will pay tax under RCM 95. Place of supply over the counter, if I give my name, address, my place, otherwise place of the supplier. Exemption अभी हमने last में अभी किया. Value of supply, online gaming, tokens and casinos, whatever you take, on that advance or payment basis जो भी पहले है tax देना पड़ेगा. Registration, at the time of registration and physical verification, it's not mandatory to have the applicant over there. Okay, बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल्स ये मुझे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लग रहा है फॉर एमसीक्यू. 30 days time is there, or before due date of filing your GSTR1, you have to give your bank account details. If proper officer has cancelled your registration, revocation of the cancellation of registration is allowed in 90 plus 90 days. Okay, yeah. Person who's giving online gaming services from outside India to India, yes, they can go for the registration. Unregistered person with aggregate turnover, ये theory question. Supply कर सकते हो e-commerce, 3 ही theory question मैंने पढ़ा, but एक ही state में करना. Don't do interstate supply, take enrollment number and all that. Invoicing limit is 5 crores. E-invoicing is mandatory to government registered solely for the purpose of TDS. Then if government is a supplier, no problem. But if we are supplying to government and government is liable to deduct TDS, we need to issue e-invoice. If I am issuing tax invoice to a registered recipient, your name, address, GSTN number, all. If I am issuing tax invoice to unregistered person, still value of supplies above 50,000, you don't have GSTN, give your name, address, your state, your PIN code. Below 50,000, your wish. जो देना है. इंटरेस्ट का मैंने एग्जाम्पल के साथ समझाया. रिटर्न भरना जरूरी है ऑनलाइन वालों को भी. ऑनलाइन गेमिंग सर्विसेज एंड ऑल. Oh, what happened? It got rotated. That's all for GST amendment. I know you are tired, but take a break, have your dinner, and before sleep, just watch tax amendment lecture 2. 1 मत देखो, मैं कराऊंगी आपको 115 VAC versus this. आज tax amendment lecture 2. छोटे छोटे amendments are there that if you can see now or wake up early and see. और मैंने एक काम दिया था आपको, क्या करना है आज? Yeah, I know that after practicing 2 days DT and IDT, then we should check all the MTPs and RTPs on the day of exam with the MCQs and all. But at least past 1 or 2 exams, MTPs, if you can cover up now. From the playlist, videos are available if you have a printout. So many classes have been saying कि last 4 attempt के RTP, MTP आपके टेबल पे होना है. ठीक है, तो उसमें से सॉल्व करो. इफ नॉट जस्ट नहीं हो रहा है आरटीपी एमटीपी, उसके लिए है कल परसों टाइम. टैक्स अमेंडमेंट देख लो एंड 5 हेड्स जस्ट ग्लांस, एकदम सुपर रिलैक्सिंग वे में. इफ यू वांट रिवीजन वीडियोस देयर, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, कैपिटल गेन नहीं देखना है तो आप भी जस्ट बूस्टर नोट्स ग्लांस करो. हैव अ गुड स्लीप, वेक अप अर्ली. टुमारो आई एम गोइंग टू डू 5 heads of income. So if you are revising early morning the tax amendment lecture 2, which is covering all the amendments of all heads of income or heads of income they care, rent-free accommodation change, whatever. You will learn it at a faster pace. To the point knowledge with weightage, exam oriented, and alertness I'll give so that you can avoid the common mistake which I see while solving the MTP papers. Right? Thank you so much. Share this GST amendment lecture with all your CMA, CAs, CS, all the friends, inter and final. You help me, I help you. I'm again saying YouTube is giving me a message. I'll send a screenshot today. 56% of your regular viewers are unsubscribers. क्यों? सब्सक्राइब कर लो एग्जाम तक. कोई भी रिकॉर्डेड पहले से वीडियो नहीं है जो मैं अपलोड कर रही हूँ. यू चेक द ट्रेंड. I'm doing it live with you Sunday evening. Subscribe till the exam. Then God bless you. Move ahead. मेरे से आगे और higher level के mentors मिलेंगे आपको. Thank you so much. Wish you very all the best. Relax and with a very positive mindset, prepare super duper for DT and IDT exam. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Any doubts you have, tell